Hello and welcome to this SAP IBP Explainer video series, focused on aggregate constraints. This series is aimed at supply planners, and any other IBP practitioners. In this part 2, we will showcase how finance can use aggregate constraints, to model maximum inventory in dollar terms at the end of the year. IBP allows both unit volume and dollar value level aggregate constraints. Dollar level aggregate constraints are quite useful for finance, such as maximum inventory in dollars by type of inventory, finished goods or raw materials. We will use the maximum aggregate inventory constraint in this example. Let's see how IBP Supply Optimizer respects the year-end inventory value constraint across all finished goods or raw materials across all locations. Let's review the supply network of a semiconductor company for this example. This company has demands from OEM customers in all regions and an Asia-centric supply and distribution network. We will focus on the microcontroller's product family and corresponding raw materials. This product family is built in Plant 1310 in Hangzhou in China. This plant feeds the distribution center 1320 in Shanghai. 2 suppliers provide all the raw materials to the plant. You can also see the bill of material and production capacities involved to produce the 3 different finished goods. All the finished goods need dedicated raw materials as shown here. A subassembly resource is used to produce the semi-finished products, such as IBP 101S. An assembly resource is used to produce the finished products, such as IBP 100. You can see all the finished goods and raw materials on the left, with the corresponding product hierarchy values, such as product family and category. On the right, you can see minimum order quantity constraints from the 2 suppliers. Supplier 1 needs a minimum order of 10,000 units for any raw material, while Supplier 2, which has lower pricing, needs a minimum order of 20,000 units. Note that the plant is shut down for 2 weeks at the end of the year to execute a major retrofit project. This means that we need to build ahead to cover demands for the first few weeks in 2023. You can also see standard unit cost data for finished goods and raw materials. Supplier 1 charges more for the same raw materials, but has a lower order minimum compared to Supplier 2. The company needs to balance the high procurement cost with lower working capital requirements, if they procure from Supplier 1. Let's review the initial planning results. You can see the consensus demands and customer receipts for the microcontroller family by region. America's region demands have been fully met. However, we have a large gap for APJ, and a bit of a gap for EMEA region. Refer to part 1 of this series to understand the non-delivery cost rates, by customer by product. These rates are driving the optimizer to prioritize America's and EMEA demands over the APJ region. Also note that while the FG demands are continuous, the order minimum for raw materials is driving the optimizer to procure only in certain weeks. We are forced to buy more than immediately needed, and must hold the excess inventory till it is consumed. This forces high projected stock at the end of certain weeks. Plant shutdown also forces build ahead, which inflates the FG inventory at the end of the year. Finance is not okay with this plan, given roughly $50 million stuck in FG and raw materials inventory. They need to drain inventory down to $30 million and free up cash during the critical reporting period at the end of the year. Let's see how we can do this. Finance puts in an aggregate inventory dollar constraint, maximum of $25 million in FG inventory and $5 million in raw materials inventory at the end of the year. IBP Supply Optimizer can hold stock for any microcontroller finished goods or raw materials in any location, plant or DC, but cannot exceed the overall dollar constraint. Let's review the revised planning results with the aggregate inventory dollar constraint. You can see the revised solve has only $23.45 million in FG inventory, while raw material inventory is exactly $5 million. You can also see that the raw material receipts have been pushed out to respect this overall inventory constraint. This gets finance a total inventory number less than $30 million, and they are happy with this plan. You saw how IBP Supply Optimizer can model aggregate inventory dollar constraints in a period-specific manner. This helps finance balance cash flow with revenue, especially during critical reporting periods, such as end of the year. Companies need to move beyond optimization just for the supply chain, and think about how to optimize performance at the enterprise level. This requires a broader balancing act across customer service, cost to serve, and cash flow to deliver the best return on capital to shareholders. We can help companies model such advanced use cases within or outside SAP IBP, depending on the complexity of enterprise-level optimization requirements. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions regarding the content shared here. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and share if you did. You can also subscribe to GitaCloud YouTube channel to stay on top of similar content in future. Thanks for watching. Have a great week.